Going on this week's episode from the Boeville Newtown? Well, it's right over here. Stand by and we'll get into what's happening this week. Gang, and welcome to episode 45 for 2022. Wasn't sure I was actually going to get a chance to do one tonight. I'm going to go ahead and mess with the lighting here a little bit because I'm not happy with the lighting over here. And that's way too bright, I know that already. There we go. See if that works any better. Anywho, so welcome to episode 45. It happens to be Tuesday, December 20th, 2022. This is episode 45 for 2022, which is more than what I did last year. Anyway, as you all saw this past Sunday, of course, I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's not happy with OBS or something, but whatever. It's starting to really tick me off. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'll figure something out here before I start doing any more live streams next year. Which reminds me that'll be the next thing that'll probably come up is I think I've got one towards the end of January, but I've got a family thing that I've got going on, so I may not be doing that one. We'll get to that later. We're actually over here at Wykert Hill, and of course, one of the things that I've noticed over the last few episodes is it seems like I don't know how to spell Wykert Hill or Wykert. There appears to be a few different ways of spelling it, and to be perfectly honest, I don't remember how my family spelt it. So, and I haven't gone looking for the books either, so to see if I can figure out how they spelled it. Anyway, notwithstanding, I've been working over here at the bridge area still. Tonight I went ahead and just decided I found a smaller piece of wood that I could go ahead and put in here as a base. So I went ahead and cut that up and got it in place. There we go. And got it in place. And I also went ahead and modified the abutments on either side. So now the bridge is, at least the base of the bridge, the Central Valley Model Works bridge is in place. I now have to go back and modify how this bridge is going to sit in here. I haven't messed with it yet. Only because of the fact that I literally just got finished messing around with the other one and decided, you know what, before I go too much further, it might not be a bad idea if I go ahead and turn on the camera and kind of show you all what the heck it is I'm messing with over here. And of course I already see that I have to make a little bit more of an adjustment on this side for that, and I think we'll be good. I just have to cut this back just a little bit more. So that'll be there. Now, one of the things that I decided I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm actually going to get some decent weather anytime soon, but these three bridges are going to get painted just like the Central Valley Model Works bridge. They're going to get painted that green, that blue-green color, so that they kind of match. That's number one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue to mess with this. One of the things I did find is, for whatever reason, the two sides here, I don't know if it's just the way I put it together or what, but the two sides were a little off, kind of like the owner. So I've got some shims up underneath it here to try and level things out a little bit. The bridge itself is level. For whatever reason, the board was not. So leave it to me to go ahead and have things not be 100% level. So it isn't the bench work that's not level, it's this rework that I did over here that's not level, which isn't surprising because it's kind of piecemealed together. Mainly because it's not structural, it's not really doing anything, it's just here to help hold scenery. So I'm going to go ahead and do some more work over here, try and get this kind of in place a little bit better. I kind of like that already. And obviously cut the shims down a little bit, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to work on this, and we'll get to that. One other thing I do want to mention before I get too far is the upper bridges here. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave this one black or if I'm going to change the color on it too. These I'm definitely leaving black. This is going to be a part of what I'm deeming the BTA, or the Boeville Transit Authority. That's the interurban line, and I'm going to leave those black. I am going to rust these up a little bit. I'm going to make them look a little bit better than what they do. But as far as the coloration goes, I'm going to leave this one alone, and I may end up leaving this one alone also. Again, color-wise, I am going to do some detailing to them. One of the things I remembered seeing a while back, David Pop had actually done it. He had actually talked about taking the cheap bridges, like the Bachmann Lifelike bridges that I'm going to have out here in front, and actually modifying them to make them look better, which I plan on doing too. Not only am I going to give them a coat of paint, but I'm also going to try and do some detail work on them to make them look a little bit better. Make it look like they don't stand out so darn bad. If you do notice one other thing here, let me go ahead and pan back down just a second. You'll notice that this bridge pier is sticking out further than this one over here. It's the way that the bridge pier actually is, or the bridge abutment as it is, was actually designed. It's a little off center. I mean, I can probably cut this back a little bit more. I did cut a little bit off of that foam abutment, so I could go ahead and slide it back a little bit. Maybe I can slide it back a little bit more, but I really don't want to, because right now this is right at the edge, and I can kind of, I guess for lack of a better term, kind of paint that in. I can actually work that in and make it look like this whole piece is just a piece of stone over here, or a piece of rock. I'm afraid if I cut it back too much, I'm going to leave too much of the wood open, and it's going to take more work to fix. The other thought that I did have at one point was actually cutting the rock work off of the bridge abutments altogether and making my own. The more I thought about that, though, I'm like, is that really something that you want to tackle? And considering the fact that this is my, I guess, first real foray into doing more detailed scenery work, I think that's a little bit above my pay grade. Just my thoughts. So I may end up just leaving that alone. I mean, it's going to be, once I put the other bridge in the other bridge in front, you're not going to notice that this one here is sticking out closer to the front than what this one is. So it may just be one of those things where I just kind of let it go and go from there. But yeah, I think I can work with this. I mean, just need to. There it goes. That's better. Of course, I'll probably have to do something from the back side too, but that's something I can look at once I get the front kind of in place here. So let me go ahead and do some more work on this, and we'll be back. Now, what the heck did I do with the remote? Oh, there it is. All right, so I'm getting ready to start spiking the track back down now that I've got everything kind of cleaned up over here. I do have some things that I'm going to have to go back and take a look at, but I think I would actually be able to run a train. So let me go ahead and swing you guys over here, and I'll show you what we've got going on. So I got the board in place, I got it shimmed, and as you can see, I do not have the structure on the Central Valley Model Works bridge, and there's a reason. I do have to do some repair work to it, and I'm also debating if I have to make some changes, well not changes, but if I have to make some corrections to the deck of that Central Valley Model Works bridge. I guess one point when I hit it with my hand, I apparently bent the structure underneath, and I'm going to figure out how I'm going to get it back straight. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, but at some point I'm going to have to tackle that. And I just realized for some reason this piece of rail over here is still kind of cattywampused, and it's probably because I was goofing around with it. But I got to go ahead and tack it all down and change rail joints. The rail joiners on a couple of these rails are really loose, so with all the moving and manipulation that I've been doing over here, I didn't want to change them until I was ready to actually put this thing together. So we're at that point where I can go back now and I can start changing out the rail joiners and get this thing back to a point where I can actually run a train or two and see how this is going to work. Like I said, I still have to do some work on the bridge piers. Those are temporarily sat in place just to hold this up. They're going to be there, they have to be there, but I'm going to make some modification. These are old Atlas bridge piers. I'm going to modify them and make my own out of them, basically. And I'll when I get to that point, I'll show you what that's going to look like. But I now have this thing to a point where I can put in the dam up here and the downfall, the angle here that'll lead down to the whatever is going to be out this way, the river, stream, whatever you want to call it. So that's going to be the next step, is getting this pretty much, the track work pretty much tacked in place, so that way we can start running trains across the B&N again. And then I'm going to work on, obviously I'm going to do the repair work on the truss, the superstructure of the Central Valley Model Works bridge. I'll do the repair work to it, and then I'll obviously I'm not going to have it in place while I'm working back here, because that would be a no-no at this point. I may just repair it and leave it off to the side in the work area where it's somewhat safe, and go from there. But I just wanted to bring you in and show you what was going on, and we're going to stop here for a bit, and I'm going to go ahead and get some track work done. All right, folks. So I'll try to explain this one real quick. I did have trains running. I found an issue with one of my walk-around throttles. Somehow or other, it's pumping 12 volt or 18 volts straight through. I have no idea what happened to it. I got to dig into it and take a look, but I did order up another one. That will be here Tuesday. Merry Christmas. So I did put up a post on the community page saying that the video wasn't going to, which it didn't. It's now Friday morning, about 10:30. I just happened to have a few minutes before I start work, because I had a visit with my primary care doctor this morning in the wonderful sleet that was coming down in buckets. Oh, what a fun ride. Anywho, I did test things out, and right now, the way it's working is, and of course I kind of forgot about the fact that I had it, and I designed it this way. I actually ran the trains using the dispatcher's panel, basically put everything in the show mode, and used a trio pacer over there to run the trains. And the work that I've done to this point seems to have worked out well. Obviously, there's a lot more work to do. There always is. But I want to try and get this thing uploaded and maybe out by this afternoon. We'll see what happens. It is Friday the 23rd. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, all that jazz. I will have another video coming out before the new year, so I do know that much. But happy holidays from the Boeville in Newtown, and you all know the deal. Wait for the high ball, green tracks ahead, be safe, God bless. We will see you next time. See ya.